Hello everyone, welcome back to the B classes. So today we'll continue studying chapter 9. As of now, we have completed the definition of function, the syntax of function, what is function prototype, what is function signature, what is actual parameter, what are formal parameters, and how a function can call another function. So today we'll study what are the types of functions in Java. So let us move. So types of functions. So in Java there are two types of functions, call by value and call by reference. First we'll read the definitions and then I will make you understand. So call by value is also known as pass by value. Call by reference is also known as pass by reference. Definition of call by value is change in formal parameter is not reflected in actual parameter. What is the meaning behind? I will let you know. The change in formal parameter, you know what is formal parameter? Is not reflected in actual parameter. Arguments can be of any primitive data type. So in class 9, we studied about all the types of primitive data types. Okay, so there are total 8 types of primitive data types in Java. That is byte, short, int, long, float, double, char and boolean. So call by value is also known as pure function. Okay, all the call by value functions that we'll be studying are all pure function. Why they are called pure function? Because pure function are those that do not change their state of actual parameters. That means the same thing. Change in formal parameter is not reflected in actual parameter. The same thing here. Pure functions are those that do not change the state of actual parameter. Okay. Another type is call by reference. The changes are reflected in actual parameter. That is, if there is any change in the formal parameter, then the same change are reflected in the actual parameter. And the arguments are of reference data types or non-primitive data types like object and arrays. And these are all impure functions because they change the state of actual parameter. Change in formal parameter will also change the actual parameter. All call by reference methods are examples of impure function. Or you can just remember call by value are pure functions, call by reference are impure functions, also sometimes called as modifier functions. Okay, so let us understand these definitions. So there were two friends, A and B. Assume that A is a function, B is a function. So here two friends are two functions. Okay, so how will A call B? How will A call B? We studied in last class. That is by telling the function name followed by parenthesis. What does the parenthesis contain? It contains arguments, values. In terms of values or also variables. Variables will hold the values. Okay. So here in this case A is calling B and A gave B potato and tomato. The two values, we can say it gave two values, that is potato and tomato. So B will take the potatoes and tomatoes and create a dish out of it. So we'll take the potatoes and tomatoes from A and he will create a dish like aloo-dum or something like that. Potato curry you can say. Okay. So when A will go to his kitchen, will he find potato curry? No, because B made that potato curry in his kitchen, not in A's kitchen. Okay, B has a different house. A has a different house. They live in different houses. So if B cooks the potato dish using tomatoes and everything, so will that be found in A's house? No. This concept is called call by value. Means P took P and T from A. He changed P and T. From P and T, he converted it to a potato dish. Right? So that is not found in A's house. Okay, because this is a situation of call by value. Change in formal parameters is not reflected in actual parameter. So actual means actually the potatoes and tomatoes are of A. A gave it to B. So B is the formal parameter or you can say the dummy parameter. So if he changes the value, B changes the value, he changed potato and tomato to this potato dish. So this will not get changed in A, means A will also have potato and tomato. He gave half of it. Assume that he gave half of potato and tomato to B. So will that get converted? No. It will remain potato and tomato only. It will not get automatically converted to that potato dish. So this concept is called call by value. The change in formal parameter is not reflected in actual parameter. Then the next concept is call by reference, and this is thus the opposite of call by value. That is, if B changes, then the value of A will also change. So example, say everyone might have gone to see some movies. So we have this Book My Show app. If you don't have, you can download and see. It will be available in Google Play, where we book movie tickets. So for example, you are booking a movie. So when you will try to book, you will see that it will ask you to select seats. It will be marked like this. Okay. It will be marked like this. Here will be the screen, and it will ask you to select a seat. So for example, I selected this. So is Book My Show only in your mobile phone? No. It will be in all mobile phones. Whoever downloaded Book My Show, it will be present in their mobile phone. For example, you are booking for a cinema hall A. Okay, this is you, and through your mobile phone from Book My Show app, you are booking this seat. Let the number of the seat be 4. You are booking seat number 4. Okay, through the help of your Book My Show app in the movie theater A. A is a movie theater. I will also book through my mobile phone, through the Book My Show app, in the same cinema hall, because since you are staying in the same city, and assume that there is only one cinema hall there, so I'll also book in a. So can I book? I also want this seat number 4. Can I book this seat? No, because you have already booked it. So assume that this is a function and this is a function. So your mobile phone is a function, my mobile phone is a function. So when you changed or when you booked a seat in your mobile phone, that is also showing in my mobile phone also. That is, change in one mobile phone is reflected in change in another mobile phone. Or you can say changes in one function is reflected in another function. This type of concept is known as call by reference. If you change anything in one function, the same will be changed in another function. This concept is known as call by reference. If call by value, for example, the Book My Show, the person who created Book My Show will create the program using call by value, then what will happen? So you will book seat number 4, but for me it will show that seat number 4 is not booked. So I will also book in seat number 4. Another third person will also book in seat number 4. So when you will reach the cinema hall, you will find that for that single seat there are 10 persons. So you will sit, I will sit over you, and someone will sit over me. So that problem will happen. Okay. This same case applies for train booking, bus booking, and wherever the seat booking things are happening. Okay. So call by reference are used in these types of program, so that if you change in one mobile phone, it will get changed in all the mobile phone through the software Book My Show. Okay, clear? So call by reference is actually not in our syllabus, in the programming part. You just have to remember the theory. So whatever was taught today, like what is the definition of call by value, what is pure function, what is call by reference, what are impure functions, you have to remember this definition because it will come in the theory part of your board exam. But now we'll be going to the programming part of functions. And in programming, we only have call by value programs and not call by reference programs. So let us move quickly. So before coming into this program, so call by value, what is call by value? You have to remember that changes in formal parameter is not reflected in actual parameter. That is, when we cooked potato curry, the same was not automatically cooked for A. Okay, it will remain potato and tomato only. It will not get converted to potato because he cooked in his house, not in A's house. Okay. So there are 4 types of call by value. Those are call by value with return, call by value no return, call by no value, call by no value with return, and call by no value no return. So there are total 4 types of call by value. Call by value with return, call by value no return, call by no value with return, and call by no value no return. So let us understand what this concept is. So last class we studied about how a function can call another function, that is by the help of function name followed by parenthesis. Parenthesis means you are calling and want to give some value, but it is not compulsory to give the value. Okay, it is not compulsory to always give a value. You can just call. Only calling is also fine. Okay, you may give some value, you may not give any value. Okay, so let us take an example. So this is you and this is me. Okay, so you are celebrating your birthday. You are celebrating your birthday. So assume that your birthday is on 15th May and you are celebrating your birthday. So I called you. So I called you through mobile phone and wished you. Okay, and told you that I will come to your house at 9 p.m. and I will come to your house at 9 p.m. So I called you and went to your house with a beautiful gift. And I will go to your house with a beautiful gift. In return, you gave me a nice dinner. In return, you gave me a nice dinner. So this is called call by value with return. So that means I called you. This is calling. And then I took some value with me to your house. That is the gift. The gift is nothing but the gift is the value here. So whenever a function, let this be function A. I am the function A and you are function B. So A is calling B and taking some value. So here the value is a gift. And in return B will give something to A. Here you are giving me dinner. Here you are giving me dinner. This is called call by value. Since I am taking some gift, this is called call by value. And you are also giving me dinner as a return gift, you can say, or as a return. As a return, you are giving me dinner. So this is called call by value with return. I am returning to my house again, right? After celebrating your birthday, I return to my house. I am returning to my house with stomach full of great food. Okay, clear? So birthday comes every year. So next year also, 15th May will come and I will again call you to wish you and again take a gift for you, right? So next year I will again call you and also take a gift for you. But this time you didn't give me any dinner. But this time what happened? You didn't give me any dinner. This is called call by value. Why value? Because I am taking the value. But you are not giving me anything in return. It is not compulsory to a function will return. So A called B and took a gift with him. So this is call by value. But you didn't return anything. You didn't give me any dinner to it. So this is called call by value no return. This is no return. You didn't give anything in return. So next year also you will have your birthday. I will call you. But this time I will not take any gift for you. Because last time you didn't give me dinner. Why I will spend money and bring a beautiful gift for you? Right? So this time I will call you and wish you, but when I will go to your house, I will not bring any gift. No value. That is nothing but no value. Gift is the value here. So I will not take any value to your house. So this is called call by no value. But last time your parents told that your teacher came and you didn't serve him any dinner or any cake or anything. So that is bad. So this time when your teacher comes, please give him a beautiful dinner. Okay. So this time you'll give me dinner to it. You're giving me, you're returning. So this is called call by no value. But return. Call by no value with return. This is called call by no value with return. So next year also you will be having a birthday. So I will call you and wish you. But this time also I will not take any gift. I will think that since you are serving me good dinner without any gift, why I can spend money? So I will just go and have a beautiful dinner. A fantastic dinner with you. So I went to your house and you saw that I have empty hands. What will do? You will just shut the door. That is, you are not returning anything. So I didn't take any value and you also didn't give me anything this time. See, every time I'm calling you and I'm wishing you. So there is a call. Function is calling another function. I am calling you. So a function is calling another function. But I am not taking anything with me. That is no value. Call by no value. And this time you are also not giving me anything. So this is call by no value, no return. So these are the 4 types of call by value functions that we'll be using to write programs. So function will call another function. He may take some value, he may not take some value. And the other function may return some value, may not return some value. So the thing is, it is not compulsory to give or take values. Okay, it is not compulsory to give or take values. But the communication will be there. A function will be calling another function. Right? Clear? Okay. So now we will be moving to a program to understand the context of all the 4 types of call by value functions. Okay. So here is a small program and the program is to find the larger number between 2 numbers. To find the larger number between 2 numbers. Okay. So we'll be doing this program using all types of concepts, that is call by value with return, call by value no return, call by no value with return, call by no value no return. Okay. So can you see this? There are 2 functions, public void dm, this one, and public void largest, this one. So assume that dm is me, this is me, okay, dm is me, and largest is you. The largest is you. Fine. So 2 of us are studying in the same class. Okay, we are sitting in the same classroom and the classroom name is DNM and the classroom name is DNM. So we are sitting together in a single bench. Okay, fine. We are sitting together in a single bench and you are studying mathematics. Okay, so there is a strict teacher who is now teaching mathematics to us and I was not concentrating. Okay, I was thinking something and talking, okay, and doing stuffs but not listening to the teachers. So the teacher saw me and quickly asked me question. So can you see this? So this is function dm. So can you see this input int, intb? This is parameter input. So here actually the teacher is giving me input. What is the input? The teacher is asking me a question, that is to dm, that is me, that take 2 values, that is 5 and 10. Assume that the teacher is giving 5 and 10. So take 5 and 10 and tell me which one of this is the larger one. It's out of 5 and 10, which is the larger one. but I am not concentrating. I don't know how to find the larger number. So what I will do? I will call you. Okay, I will call you. How a function can call another function? You are the function largest. You are sitting beside me. Okay. So how to call another function? By the function name. Can you see this part? Can you see this part? Okay. Here see. Largest. DM function is calling the largest function. Okay. Means you. I am calling you. How can I call you? By the help of the function name. Your name is largest. So I am calling largest. And I am giving the values. Because if I will not tell why I am calling you, how will you know? Right? So I am giving the values means I am telling you the same question that the teacher asked me. That is, please tell me which is the larger number between 5 and 10. So this A, the value in A, that is for example 5, will be stored in the variable X, that is your variable. A and B are my variable. X and Y are your variable. Okay, both are different function. I am a different function, you are a different function. So my variables are A and B, your variables are X and Y. So the value inside A will be stored in X and the value inside B will be stored in Y. It will not be in reverse, like A will be stored in Y and B will be stored in X. That is not how it happens. Okay, so it will be stored in a synchronized way. A will be stored first in X and the value in B will be stored in Y. So now the controller jump from the largest, this calling function, directly to you. So now the controller is with you. So what will do? You will calculate. You will calculate and find which one is the larger number. Which one is the larger number. This is a very easy program we have done in class 9. So your finding is X greater than Y. Don't write A greater than B. A and B are not your variables. A and B is present with me. Okay, A and B is present with me. The actual value is present in X and Y. Here X and Y, the values are present in X and Y. X and Y are your variables. So we'll be using your variables to find. So here you will check, is X greater than Y? So that is, we are checking, is 5 greater than 10? No, false. So what will be stored in L? The value 10 will be stored in L. Then can you see this return statement written? Okay. The work of the return statement is to return the value. So question was asked to me. So I have to give the answer to the teacher, not you. So what will do? You will tell me that, sir, the answer is 10. Please tell the teacher that the answer is 10. So you have to return the value. That is called, you have to return the value. So when this return statement is executed, it will go directly. The cursor will move directly to the calling function. So where is the calling function? Here is the calling function. So when return statement will be executed, the cursor will move directly to the calling function. So L has some value. So L has some value. This value of L will be stored in the variable R. R is my variable. L is your variable. Okay. So the value inside L will be stored in this variable R. This is compulsory to write. If you don't write a variable here, then how will be the return value be stored? Each value in Java need a storage location. That is a variable. Okay. So when you send some value, it should be stored somewhere. So here I have taken the variable R. It doesn't matter what variable name it is, but you have to take some variable. So here the value will be stored in R. That is 10. 10 will be stored in R. Then I am writing the print statement. Larger number is 10. So print statement means I am telling the teacher. Okay, here print statement means I am telling the teacher that teacher, the answer is 10. The teacher will be happy that without listening only he is able to tell. That happens in your classroom, right? You might not be listening anything, but your friend will tell you the answer and you will tell the teacher. Okay, but the teacher knows that you were not listening anything, and that is what happens in classes, right? In all the school classrooms and everywhere, even in tuitions. Okay, so understood what is call by value with return? Okay, here how it is call by value? I am calling you. This is a calling function. I am calling you and I am giving some value to you, right? So this is called call by value. I am calling you and giving some value. So this value of A and B are stored in X and Y respectively. So now you are calculating and returning me the value. This is called with return. So these types of programs are called call by value with return. So you need at least two functions to have some interaction. Okay, only single function you cannot use call by value with return. You're not, there is only single function whom you will give and who will return you, right? So minimum two functions are required to do this types of programming that we'll be doing in class 10 actually. Till class 9 we are having only one function, so there was no concept of call by values. Okay, but now we'll be using this concept of call by value with return, no return, call by no value. Okay, so now did you observe that here we have written void and here we have written int? Do you know why we have written int here? Because we have a return statement. Always remember, if there is a return statement, there cannot be void. And similarly, if there is void, there cannot be a return statement. So return statement and void cannot go together. उनके अंदर झगड़ा हो गया, you can say. Okay, there is not a good relationship between void and return. If void is there, return statement will not be there. If return statement is there, void will not be there. Okay, so here since we are returning, we cannot write void here. So what you have to write? You have to write a data type. So what data type you have to write? It should match with the return value. You are returning L. What is the data type of L? int. Therefore you are writing int. If the data type of L would have been double, then here instead of int we will be writing double. If char, we will be writing here char. If boolean, we will be writing here boolean. So it should match with the return value. We'll see. So for example, in case you are returning 5 directly, it is not compulsory to write a variable here. Okay, it can be return value or return variable. So if you are writing return 5, so 5 is what type of value? It is integer type. So you will write int. If you are writing return 5.0, then you will write double. So L data type is int. Therefore you are writing int. And also you should mark that what type of value I am giving to another function. Here I am giving the value of a and b. So what is the data type of a and b? That is int. Therefore here also you have to write int. If a and b are double, you have to write double x double y. If this is char b, then you have to write char x and char y. So these two should match, and this return value and the data type should match. If you are not returning, it will be void. Clear? Okay. So next, a situation of call by value, no return. We'll take the same situation. The teacher will be giving me question that find the larger number between 5 and 10. I don't know because I am not studying anything. So I will call you. So here I called you and I gave you the value, that is 5 and 10. And now we'll calculate, but this time see, you are not returning anything. Since there is no return statement, here it is void. Since there is no return statement, here we have written void. But we are writing a print statement. Okay, print statement means we are telling the teacher here. So this time you will think that, why will you tell me? I will tell the teacher directly. This also happens in your classroom. Okay, question will be asked to someone else and someone else will be giving the answer. Just to let the teacher know that, see, I know everything. To impress the teacher. It happens, right? Question will be asked to someone else, but someone else will tell the answer to just impress the teacher, to get marks in exam, right? So here also the same thing is happening. The teacher is asking me, I don't know, so I am calling you to tell me the answer. But instead of telling me, you are telling the teacher. That is, you are not returning anything to me. So this is called call by value because I am giving you the value, but no return. Next concept. Call by no value with return. Call by no value with return. Okay, so this time the situation is little bit more serious. So when the teacher asked me question, so I didn't hear it because I was busy talking and talking and talking. So here you can see this time there is no input only. This is function dm, that is me. So you can see there is no input here. Why? Because I was not listening anything. So now what will happen? How I will call you because I have to get some answer. But can I give you values? No, because I myself doesn't know the value. So I will just call you. I am calling you. Every time I have to call you because I want to call you and tell that please give me the answer. So I will call you and give me the answer. But you will ask me what are the values? But I didn't know the values. So what will do? But you are very attentive. You heard what the question was asked to me. So you heard that the teacher gave me 8 and 15. So you will calculate and tell me that teacher had asked you this question, that find the larger number between 8 and 15, and the answer will be 15. So here you are returning. Data type of L is int, therefore here the return data type is int. So here you will return me. Since I am returning, see, there is a variable. In the previous case, you were not returning anything. So therefore there was no variable also. If you are not returning anything, means I don't want to keep any values. Therefore there will be no variable. So remember, when there is a return statement, there will be return data type and there will be a variable here. Just in front of the calling function, there will be a variable like this. Since you are returning, there will be return data type and there will be a variable before the calling function always. And there is no return data type, then this will be void and there will be no variable. Okay, these are the few things you can remember, because these are the areas where people make mistake. Okay, just remember like this. I have a return statement, means there will be return data type and it should match, the data type should match, and there will be a variable before the calling function. Similarly, if there is no return data type, it will be void and there will be no variable before the calling function. Easy to remember, so that you will not make any mistakes. So here you return the value. What is the value stored in R now? The value stored in R is 15. Then I will tell the teacher. Printing means I am telling the teacher that the larger number is 15. Okay, clear. So here I am not giving any value. So therefore this is call by no value. But you are returning me the answer. So this is call by no value with return. And the last part or the last type is call by no value, no return. So here also I was not listening anything. I was not able to hear the question also. So I will call you, but I will not be able to give you any values because I myself doesn't know any value. I was not concentrating and I was not able to hear the question. So here you know the questions, you will solve it, but this time again you will tell the teacher directly just to impress him or her. Okay. So this is call by no value because I was not giving any value. And this time you also didn't return me anything. Since there is no return statement, there is void, and you can see there is no variable also because I don't need to store anything now. So this is called call by no value, no return. So today we understand this four concept, that is call by value with return, no return, and call by no value with return, no return. So in board exam, compulsory one function program is going to come, 15 marks. So this is a very important chapter. So in the next part of chapter 9 video, we will be solving few questions of call by values. Okay, all different types of call by values I will be solving for you, and next in the future classes I will be giving you assignments. Okay, and now please go through this video more than once. Go for twice, thrice, okay, 100 times if you want, because nowhere is this video going away from you. Okay, because this is very important chapter. Understand this concept, how the value is given to another function, how the value is being returned to that function, how this call by value and no return, or call by value with return, or call by no value is happening. Okay, go through this video again and again, make notes. In next class we will be taking few programs which you have already done in class 9. Okay, those programs, we will be taking those programs only, and we will be using the concept of call by value to get acquainted with these types of questions. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.